Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to Popternative. This is the talk show and podcast where we have digital discussions, worlds of TV, film, news, music, sports, lifestyle, everything really, depending on the guests. We talk about it all. As always, I'm your host, Peter Remoliotis. On social media, you know me as PD Beats. This Friday, Big Shot is going to debut finally on Disney Plus, and we are speaking to someone that you will see in this amazing show. Cricket Wampler is with us. Cricket, welcome to Popternative.
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm excited to chat with you. I mean, has it hit you that it's finally coming out? Like, Big Shot's gonna come out. It's amazing.
I have to tell you, not at all. We have the premiere tonight, and I'm like, no. I don't know when it'll set in, but it definitely hasn't begun to. It's been literally 3 calendar years in the making. We joke about it now, but it's been such a long time coming. I actually can't fathom that it's here.
Amazing. So what was that kind of like in terms of what was the familiarity with sports and basketball before the role? Was there any kind of interest or know about it at all?
I have to say yes. So that's not the case with all the girls, but some of us definitely did have some interest. So yes, I only played a couple years myself, but I have cousins who play in college I've cheered on, and my dad played in college and he coached a little bit. So I've definitely grown up around the game. I love basketball. It's probably my favorite sport to watch, at least. So yes, I did have some familiarity with it, and I do enjoy watching. And now I have gained so much respect for those who play it, because we definitely have gone through some intense training for it, but we don't even touch on what I'm sure the actual basketball players that play in a high school or college go through, or the NBA or anything. Yeah.
Absolutely. I have so many questions about the show because it is fantastic. I can't wait for everyone to see it. But before we get into that, the storytelling kind of acting bug, did that hit you early on? Like, was that an early thing? Like, did you decide you wanted to do acting when you were young, Cricket?
Good question. So I'm in about my 13th year of acting right now. So I have acted for quite a long time, but I did not wake up at 8 years old and be like, I want to be an actress. That wasn't me. I actually had dreams of being a childhood education teacher, It's just a normal 8-year-old wanting to do normal 8-year-old things in her future. And my brother and sister started acting, my older siblings, and I was too shy at first. I was like, I don't think I want to do it. No, thanks. Just living my little 8-year-old life in second grade. And then my siblings started coming back to LA, from LA to Ohio, and I was just like kind of getting more and more intrigued. They were going back and forth with my mom. And so one time when I came out to visit them, I met with their managers just as to have a meal with the family. And they were like, are you sure you don't want to try acting? And I kept telling my parents no, but on this whim, I was like, no, I think I do. And so from then, I was 8 years old. I just started acting and never really stopped. So here I am.
No, absolutely. Whether it's a TV show or a movie, when sports shows or movies come out, because they don't come out that often, but when they come out, they hit hard and people love it and everything. It's interesting, though, because this is a tale of two shows, and I'm hoping people get this because this is what I got from it. It's about a high school women's basketball team, but it's way more than just basketball. It's about these relationships. It's about growing. Did you notice that when you were kind of filming this and reading the script, Cricket? That's tale of two shows a little bit?
Absolutely, yes. Because, right off the bat, when we're reading the first script, we're like, yeah, this is a basketball show we're a part of. But as soon as we started getting into episode 2 and 3 and 4, and then because of Corona, I think it actually ended up having a little less basketball games than we intended, but I think in a really weird way, that's a really cool twist that took us even in directions we weren't even planning on going in. So I think it was really, but yes, we did notice right off the bat, we were like, wow, this is really digging in. Yes, there's the basketball, but it's really digging on this and this, and I think it's going to dig in on that, and then it did. So I think it definitely covers a lot more. I don't want people to be turned off because they think it's about, like, it is so basketball, but also there's so much more to it. So say you're not a basketball fan, I still think you could definitely end up falling in love with the characters or the stories or the relationships, like you said. So I think there's just much more to it.
And Big Shot is going to be is on Disney Plus, part of Disney Plus family. It's pretty cool too, because one is a sports show. I mean, Disney Plus has a lot of really cool shows that are on right now that Big Shot's going to kind of like join the family a little bit. Mighty Ducks Game Changers, Falcon and Winter Soldier. That's a pretty cool thing too, right? To be kind of like your show kind of being on Disney Plus with all those amazing shows, and everyone's going to kind of watch them all. Have you thought about that as well?
Absolutely. I have thought about it a little bit. And, I watched the first episode of Mighty Ducks because I just wanted to gauge what it was going to be like. And I was like, this is super cool. I definitely was like, I was more intrigued than I thought I'd be. I really knew nothing going into it. I hadn't seen the original Mighty Ducks, so I was like, didn't know what to expect. But I was like, this is so cute and just wholesome. And I think it definitely would target a slightly different audience than us, but I could see a lot of people who enjoy Mighty Ducks enjoying our show and vice versa. It was very cute.
Oh, absolutely. Without going into without going into too much spoilers or details, Cricket, can you talk a little bit about your character in Big Shot? What can we expect from her a little bit?
Yeah. So Samantha, which some true fans might know, she was Giggles at the beginning, but that's just a funny thing we laugh about now because it's really no part of anything now. But if you've been through the beginning, then you would know that. But yeah, she is. I didn't know much about her when I was cast in the role. All the other girls had breakdowns for their roles. Samantha Giggles just didn't. It was a very weird process for this specific character. And so I just didn't really know what to expect with her. When I read the pilot, I was like, okay, I have a couple like comedic things here and there. I just didn't know about her as a character. So getting to watch her grow and just like change so much, I definitely have a lot of similarities with Samantha. But I would say that Samantha is just definitely a team player, loves supporting her team. She's a big like cheerleader for everyone. And I think she just genuinely wants to see the best for everyone. And I think she seems to be pretty optimistic, which is one of the few things that I did know about her before beginning to play her. It said she was a sunny optimist. And I was like, I think I can do that. So she's just definitely, you'll get to know her a lot more in the back half of the season. So I look forward to those who watch all the way through and get to see that. But she's just really, she's there for a good time. She just kind of is just a fun time. I don't know.
And it's interesting too, getting back to kind of the sports aspect of it. I'm from Canada, so I know all about, and I'm a big sports fan as well. So I know all about high school sports, and they're getting a lot more competitive, especially in hockey and everything, because I'm Canadian. So I follow high school hockey a lot in the States and everything. And it's interesting because we know about a lot of people, like there's been a lot of movies about college sports. There's been a lot of movies about pro. This is really showing high school sports and how kind of competitive you see it in the pilot. You know what I'm talking about? How big high school sports is. Have you thought about that a little bit? We're going to get a glimpse of high school sports, Cricket?
A little bit, yes, because especially I had a lot of friends who played high school sports. It's, just because it's not at the college level or the, beyond that, it is still people, it is their lives at times. It is, people take it so seriously, and the hours that these kids put in for a high school sport, that whether they plan on playing it beyond that or not, I just like have a respect, again, like I said, because it's just so, it takes so much. And just even with our little, like the training that we did, that was kind of intense, but for a much shorter amount of time, it just like, it is these people's lives. So I think it's good to highlight that because it's not some little thing. It is a very big thing, and it's obviously all around the country. I'm from Ohio, so I see it. You know what I mean? I see all my friends who played sports back there, and I'm like, yeah, this is a huge part of people's lives. So I think it's really fun to not only be able to highlight, yes, high school sports like a Friday Night Lights or something, but at the same time, it's the female version. So that's kind of fun too.
The training you talk about with the cast of the Sirens, the training that you guys are doing, I mean, was that like in spurts? Was that like every day of like what was that? I'm curious about that. Was it like a week of it? Was it like a couple of sessions? What was it ongoing? I'm curious.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, great question. So when we were testing, which is like the final step before booking it, we actually had to perform basketball as well as acting. Mm-hmm. Then once we were cast, we started, I think it was like a month or two long of training, which was at least 4 hours every weekday, like about 4 hours every weekday. We would go in and just train before we even started filming. And then once we started filming, I wouldn't say most days we had basketball, but a lot of days we would either have scenes, then basketball, or we'd go scene, basketball, scene. So sometimes we would literally be sweaty from basketball practice and have to re-go through hair and makeup to try to look cute for a scene, which wasn't my favorite, but you got to do what you got to do, because we had to learn the real plays that we're doing, and we had to practice with the amazing, rest of the team that we film with, because it's not just us five going through all this. It's the whole team. So you'll watch us all, but yeah, it was really fun. It totally helped us feel like a real team, but it was definitely extreme at times. But, like I said, the people who are really playing the sports know the struggle. So I'm glad we got to go through that with these people.
Absolutely. And, the Sirens, the basketball team, I mean, you see it on social media. You're all tagging each other in photos. You're all excited for everything. But I want to know, what was it also like working with John and Jesselyn and Yvette? What was that like as well?
Oh my gosh. Well, first off, they could not be warmer, just like especially, Yvette, ray of sunshine. Jesselyn, just amazing, learned so much. John, do we need to say more? Like, it was just so cool. So I feel like I definitely learned so much from all three of them at different times. And sometimes, they'd be like, oh, girls, well, da-da-da. They would like specifically tell us things. But a lot of times when I feel like I learned the most was when they were just doing them. And I was like, okay, they're doing that because of this. Okay, Jesselyn's looking over there because, and it just like, it all made sense when I was like watching it. So I think I just learned so much. They really could not be a more welcoming group. To be working with such, veteran actors is so incredible, and we've learned so much. So I think all of the girls feel really lucky to be on a show with these people. It's incredible.
And this now, it's not, this is more of like a statement that I want you to kind of comment on rather than a question. But this is this is not about a basketball team. This is an all girls basketball team.
You tell them. It is. So yeah, it's definitely a little different. And again, it's talked about, but coach comes in and he's like, oh, X's and O's. Okay, get to point A to point B. And it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. We have feelings. We have opinions. We have all of that. And so that's where I think Coach Holly, Jesselyn Gilsig really comes into play, because I personally feel like she really is the bridge that gaps us, because we all have the basketball in common, but he does not know how to work with girls, so she's trying to tell him how that's all going. So I think it's just really funny to see that dynamic. But yeah, it's girls basketball. It's not just basketball. It's definitely something else.
And it's interesting because people are gonna watch the first episode, and they're gonna watch all the other episodes. And what I really loved about it, especially the first episode too, Cricket, is, you talk about Jesselyn Gilsig and John Stamos. They have scenes when they're like talking, when it's just two people having a conversation, but it's way more than that. It's like there's so much going on, and and I love that about these shows, where a conversation between two people could be so much more than just a conversation. Do you know where I'm getting at a little bit?
Yeah, and there's some subtext,
Absolutely. The obvious answer to this question while we wrap up here is you hope that people enjoy it, they watch it with their family and friends, they like Big Shot. Diving deeper into it a little bit more, Cricket, what are you hoping people get out of watching Big Shot on Disney+?
I hope that they see some of the struggles that people go through, whether you're aware of them or not. I think just having more empathy, it's made me kind of realize, again, you don't know exactly what's going on in people's lives. And I think just having that empathy, on a more random note, I hope that they really just like fall in love with the team and want to cheer us on. I think that's a fun aspect of it. But I just think empathy is a big part of it, and compassion, and just seeing the relationships, and maybe learning about yourself, or, if it's a parent watching it with their daughter, maybe they'll see her perspective in a different way. I think there's a lot of bases being covered, which is exciting.
Absolutely. No, it's so great to see. And it's calm before the storm a little bit. You know what I mean? There's a lot of preparation. Obviously, we're in the pandemic and everything. There's no like big red carpets or anything. What's this past couple of days ahead of the premiere been like for you and the cast?
A bit nerve-wracking. We haven't done, like last week we did some stuff. It's kind of hit or miss. So tonight's the premiere. We're going all out. We're really excited. But it's just been, surreal is the word. I can't comprehend it. I think we're all just so like excited that it's finally happening, but can't even comprehend it, honestly. It's just very exciting. We cannot wait to share it with the world, and we just hope you guys love it as much as we loved making it.
Amazing. Well, Cricket, thank you so much for coming on Popternative. I really enjoyed chatting with you.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So they're going to be able to watch it very soon on Disney+, which is amazing. And where can people follow you on social media to keep up to date with everything?
Oh, the plugs. Okay. So Instagram, I'm Cricket Wampler. Twitter, I believe I'm also Cricket Wampler. TikTok, Crickbop. That's me. And yeah, I'm just chilling.
Amazing. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Be sure to check Cricket and the rest of the amazing cast in Big Shot coming to Disney Plus very, very soon. Until next time, this is Cricket Wampler and Petey Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.